real quick. In the group stage, Happy and Lin met each other already. There, Happy took the first map where Lin once again tried to go for a ground composition, which didn't work. The follow-up matches, they weren't even close. Blademaster, Shadowhunter, Mass Air, Destruction. It was a very, very one-sided affair, and maybe the trigger for Happy to come up with a new solution here. Then he beat Colorful and advanced to the playoffs, where the competition was fierce on paper with a 3-0 to Fortitude, but 3-0 to Fortitude. That's his biggest rival. And he killed him 3-0 with also Banshees. Then the Bespoken match versus Focus yesterday. Game tape for Lin. He defeated Soin 3-1. He defeated Kao swiftly 3-0. Lin is the guy to beat in the scene right now. He's the #1 player in the ELO ranking. He is the best player in the world. Happy wants to reclaim the title. His 2023, not necessarily the best in 2024, not necessarily the best compared to 2024. So he wants this title at all cost. Let's go, everybody. Let's enjoy some sweet, sweet, sweet competitive Warcraft with the best players in the world. It is Lin versus Happy, representing Aurora Gaming. The past encounter, as I said, 2-1 for Lin. But yeah, he felt a little cheeky. He felt like he can't play without air. But nobody, no orc can play without air. Lin on the bottom left-hand side, he is the favorite. He is the guy to be beaten. And Happy, as I said, with new tools, with new strategies, with new weapons. Defensive mechanisms, that is. So, what's he going to do? He's gonna creep first and foremost. The early game will look very normal. Lin with the Blademaster to disrupt creeping, stealing items, and keep the DK away from level 2. They play around this perfectly. The first moments of the game already. DK is losing quite some HP here as Lin is forced into another Windwalk due to a swift surround. So, Happy in the beginning wants to use as few ghouls as possible, keep them on lumber, because his tier 2 will require a lot of lumber. Why is that? He has to go for a second hero, costing lumber.
6. What is better than B2W and Lin?
Oh, Knopf by my side, my dude. Get well soon. He needs the tech. He needs the second hero. He needs the Slaughterhouse, of course, for statues. And then he builds a Temple of the Damned ASAP. So one of Focus solutions yesterday was to attack the ghouls and take them out, and that worked wonderfully on this very map, Autumn Leaves, while on the other maps, it didn't really. Then, of course, you also need the upgrades for the Banshee. You want the anti-magic shield. You might think, why would you need an anti-magic shield as undead? There's no nuke on the orc side. Are you afraid of this little damage Stomp is doing to you? There's no chain lightning here. No. Due to some weird interaction with the Warcraft 3 engine, Bat Rider AoE explosion is magic damage that is getting absorbed. And also, all sorts of poison are counted as magic damage. So anti-magic shield will be used against Wyvern, will be used against bats, and that is the main army composition for orcs for the past 9 months, maybe, to take that strength away. And that is something that in a straight-up fight, Focus couldn't break. Arguably, he made a couple of mistakes, especially in bigger fights, thinking back to Northern Isles, where he had an even situation and got battered, and especially to Concealed, where he had a 20 food lead and got wrecked in the fight with Happy only losing 2 units. Thank you, Japariax, for the 32 months, and also Karubik. I would never forget you, 52 months in a row. So I would say this early game, pretty solid for Happy. He had to heal up his DK. Item stolen, nice. 1 claw for Happy, 1 circlet for Lin, which is not the high critting Blademaster that you'd love to see. So what are possible solutions for Lin? As we see, he's going for that greedy tech once again. No unit until the 6-minute mark. Then we're gonna see Wyvern. You could think about Mirror Image, because Banshees, of course, not only is the anti-magic shell dangerous, the curse is dangerous. Curse is a 33% damage reduction on paper. It's a bit RNG, but you know, it evens out. And there, mirror image might be a solution as it debuffs the Blade Master, but then you can just reapply it with good micro that Happy certainly has. In the beginning, Lin is focusing on ghouls, but with the attention of ghouls here, we see the temple by the way in the first Garg. With the attention to ghouls here, this is a moment that the orcs usually use for some big creeps, the biggest creeps on the map. Something like the Warlord here. Hex him, push him towards you, creep the one, get the reward. This is not the case. So Lin's leveling progress is already slowed down in comparison to what an orc would usually do, and an orc is relying on high level heroes. You want the big red numbers, you know it. You want the level 2 heal wave to have something against the undead nuke in the fights. For Happy, everything is coming together. There was a bit of damage towards his ghouls. One even fell. But if your ghouls are hurt, just put them back, as you see. So undead has the most freedom in the wood economy, and Happy is using that. He's building the temple, he's upgrading the banshees. He doesn't need them at the moment. He needs them when the bats are coming out, and this is now. Gargs, Banshees, a very momentum-based strategy. Both armies actually need the critical numbers. Without one-shotting Gargs, this army doesn't do that much. And on the other side, Gargoyles in low numbers are very underwhelming as well. We got the heal wards here. Scroll the beast on Happy. Heal ward, very, very nice for creeping. Saves him some gold that he would usually put into heal wave or clarity if he uses heal wave. But that is also not the case. 4 Wyvern into Bat Riders. All right. Yesterday we've seen Focus trying to go 2 Wyvern into Raider Walker. That wasn't too successful, but also not a disaster really. The thing is, even if you have a good mid game, the Banshees still scale with possession. And of course damage upgrades. Damage upgrades is something that we have always seen in the past couple of months. Because why is that? You want high armor on the gargoyles, so the Bat Rider explosion, which is also partly physical damage, deals less damage, and you need more bats to kill more guards, and that makes it more expensive, and at some point the trades don't even out anymore. With anti-magic, you add a new layer. Ah, Lin with the last hit, I think. Yep, got the Overseer. Oh, Sobi Mask too. Happy first big encounter. Speed scroll. Lin getting caught by a Nova. 1 guard, 2 Gargs in a healthy state. Trying to catch up now. Stutter flying, I guess. Okay, now with the first guard down, this might be air superiority for Lin. The first big fight in this winner bracket final. Not looking too bad, but here's the Alchemist. Takes out another Wyvern, and Happy is striking back, gets the advantage in just 1 swift move. Ooh, Blade Master severely underleveled, doesn't really do the damage. 3, 2, 1 is what we can expect, and do you see the impact? The Bat Riders barely did anything. 12 food lead for Happy after this fight. The gargoyles nicely healed, nicely protected. I was still in my in my rambling about armor types, etc. And there was the fight. This is, you see, miss. Almost saving the Banshee here. And that's what you get. Lin, I have to say, this did not look like a perfect solution. This did not look like he was spending 24 hours fighting Banshees. And this was the map where Focus utterly destroyed Happy yesterday. Is that foreshadowing for the entire series? Lin's still fighting. Lin's still holding on. Goes in for the TC to have more control on the ground for maybe more hero focus. You could switch in raiders as well, but then of course at some point there will be possession. What is the solution? I feel like with the anti-magic shield up Envenomed Spears is not that necessary, and Lin was rushing it. He is going into the ground army now. Focus had the same thought yesterday. And after a fight, we had an undead Kodo, we had an undead Radar, we had an 80-foot undead army with orc enhancements, and Focus had nothing left. Is it the right call then? Banshee Master training takes quite some time, and it's not that telegraphed yet. He didn't show any ground units. The downside of this build is for Happy that for a long time he can't forget about Shade. You can't afford it in the lumber department if you go Temple of the Damned. So way less vision, using some skeletons, using some ghouls, but it's not as reliable as his Banshees, who were basically legal map hacks for him in the past couple of weeks. Happy breaking upkeep soon. Oh, and he got 300 gold to spare. More creeping. Lin is doing some evasion creeping here for sure. He doesn't want to contest the middle at all. Happy gets the big mana. Happy has double claw. Sobi on the Lich is interesting. But yeah, on top of this new strategy, Happy also great inventory. Can Lin fight his way out? Endurance Aura is very, very unthankful. He has that already, can trade it in the shop. Little too late is Happy. He sees the heal ward, he sees the corpses. Should have moved a bit earlier. But he was busy in the main as well. Double barracks. The first barracks at 12 minutes, that's the rare sight. So while Focus was trying Radar Walker yesterday, Dispel doesn't seem to be an option for Lin at all. Which is very, very odd when you think about Banshee on a Blade Master, like Curse on a Blade Master. I was thinking Shaman would be a cool addition. But they're easy to nuke, of course, but then the nuke ends up on them and not on anything else. Lin seems to be in love with the Headhunters, with Berserkers. Good scouting. They do have good damage types. And there's no Dark Ranger because, of course, Lin is facing an Alchemist for the time being. Sniping for statues. How can Lin win this? That's the big question. Similar to what Happy did to Human, the Banshees are the answer. It's even more mind-boggling when you think how the second best undead in the world, 120, was neglecting Banshees for years. Whenever he was able to avoid them, he did avoid them. Speaking of avoidance, Lin, you gotta avoid Happy. There's no chance you can take the fight. Oh, Coral Nova, but speed scroll away. Dispel. But not on that much, to be honest. The Kodo. So now he saw that there's a ground army. He saw the Radar and the Kodo. That must be possession. He just broke upkeep. Probably not, but he gets the red spot. Like, this army is still unbreakable for them. If you get the Headhunters out, does that change the equation? Battle bongos, more damage. And Radar lane once again. Happy does not care too much about defenses. Orcs have lamed undead bases for a long, long time. And we have seen spirit towers there and defensive towers here where ghouls are cutting some trees to make space for a ziggurat. Happy wasn't expecting that at this moment in the game. Lin has a 1100 gold. And he holds the Headhunters back to not expose them to Coral Nova. He's getting the second attack upgrade. He's getting a lot. Lin has a shot. Are the Berserkers the answer? On this map. 2 shops available. There's always gonna be invo potions. What's Happy's next step? I am very, very surprised to not see possession. Lin spent 1,000 gold. He still needs time. A bit of these 1,000 gold is in production, but he also put a lot into items. We have speed scrolls. No shockwave for lame. What's that? That's an interesting read. Trying to see if the consumable is still there. Always putting a dent in the economy. This is the calm before the storm, everybody. Hope you got your snacks ready. And how good is the anti-magic? Banshees will... the gargoyles will rip the wyvern apart, but the wyvern aren't the biggest threat anymore. It's probably headhunters. Who will be hurt by Nova Acid Bomb, both on level 2. And the Lich is still a beast. Plus, think about the big mana potion that we got. Is it time to fight yet? Lin is long distance mining. Oh, no end snare. But Lin with the social distancing, not allowing any Coil Nova. We all want them to clash. We all want them to fight. But not just yet. Patience is a virtue, and Lin exercising that to the fullest effect. Raiders up, and snare up. Another sort of lockdown next to Hex and Stomp. I still think Curse is a problem. There's no Dispel at all. The Walker Dispel of Focus wasn't enough yesterday. Here's Possession. Okay. Happy was waiting for a long time. Both players got all the upgrades they need. Draw the line in the sand. Meet middle 20-minute mark. Lin sees him coming. 1 heal scroll, 1 invuln. On both sides. Level 2 crit. Level 2 heal wave. Here we go! What are the Berserkers going to do? They are dealing quite some damage. We're looking at the possession, but the Kodo is far in the back. Wyvern would love to participate in the damage, but it's just started stepping at this point. Shadowhunter level 4. Lin is taking a huge lead here with most of the gargoyles taken out. The Wyvern still alive. What about the destroyers? They're also falling. Any chance of possession? I don't think so. The TC is countering this well. Lots and lots and lots of misses everywhere. The heal ward by Lin. Perfect. Oh, Happy lost sight of the fight for a long time. Did he even deny that? That was sick. Here we go again. 39 food remaining. Happy down to the heroes and the statues. Lin is tearing him a new one in this fight. Outside the heroes, that is. Do we have Curse on the blade? I don't think so, buddy. Gets the purge. Gets the nice piercing damage from Wyvern. And I think Happy is done. What can he do here? Not much. Coil Nova on Headhunters. They fall quickly, but same for the Destroyers. And they're arguably the way more expensive unit. Trying desperately with the Coil Nova. This was Happy with so many potions. DK going down with the backstab. Jesus Christ. So close to level 5. Can he afford him from the Tavern? No shot. Almost not from the altar. Lich up for grabs. Has an invuln. Alright, but then the Alchemist is just next in line. No coil. We still have heal wave. The mana management on Lin is insane. And the Raider is just waiting for the net. Sharp, blade, master, and snare. For the kill. Lin 1-0 counters the Banshees with Berserkers. Happy gave him so much time. Happy gave him all the time in the world for the transition. But what a fight setup that was. Look at the value graph. If you have good memory, and if you were here yesterday, the total value graphs that we display after every game, they looked entirely different in the match versus Focus. It took a 180. But holy moly, did Lin control this fight well or what? The Headhunter is in the perfect spot, focusing the right targets at the right time, not getting overwhelmed at all. And I saw some people in the middle of the game before the ground transition was coming in. It's over. It's done. Happy got this. 1-0. Go next. This is the freaking War Chief we're talking about. And War Chief always finds an answer. And this is what we mentioned yesterday as well. This strat didn't look unbeatable. It looked really, really, really good, but it didn't look like Focus had no chance. Focus just wasn't super clean, and the big fights were oftentimes a disaster. And nobody is playing cleaner than Lin. So this is how the fights look with that setup. But what if you don't give Happy the time for the setup? I feel Happy was uncharacteristically quite distracted by the Wyvern harass. Which is cool, by the way, to see that Lin is finding a use case for the Wyvern even though they're kind of countered. He just sent them into the undead base and killed them. And Headhunters, while they were benched for a long, long, long time, if Berserkers don't face a Dark Ranger, they're still a threat. They're still a good unit. They're still doing lots of damage. So for a long time in this game, it looked like Lin didn't know what the perfect answer is. After 20 minutes, we can say that he knows. The Wyvern kiting, by the way, in the middle of an 80 food fight, starting a kiting game with Wyvern versus Gargs, while focusing all these gargoyles with Headhunters on the ground, while never missing a heal wave. And you were... It was noticeable that Happy was a bit overwhelmed, right? It's not a fight that he's used to. Banshee micro mid-fight versus Orc is not something that he has done every day, and we all know that Happy gets better the more often he did things. I mean, this is normal for a human being, but for Happy, he puts it to the extreme. Starbuck, can you please make a video on like 0.1 speed how crazy this micro was? Largemouth, Bass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you for the sub. 10 month! Feels good. Oops, wrong button. Once you play an ad to turn the lights out, it's not that bad yet monetarily that we have to keep the lights out. Game up. Lin takes Autumn leaves. For Happy, maybe that is not a huge reason to worry. Because this was the map he lost yesterday and every other map looked really good. Yes, I can, says the bug. Question is, will you? I know that you can. I know that you're capable of. Oh, that's some German humor there. I apologize. I'll just dig a grave and go to sleep. Anyway, enough of me. Here's the game. Map 2, Lin with a 1-0 lead. I will. Nice. That's gonna be some good content. Follow Starbuck on Twitch for a full breakdown of Lin's micro coming to your home screen soon. Lin bottom left hand side. Once again, Blade Master Shop. And Happy. Do you have any other tricks up your sleeve? It's a ghoul opening with a very early graveyard to get lumber faster. as I explained on map 1, you need tons and tons and tons of lumber. Which Undead has, right? So that is fine. Are there different layers to the Banshee strat? Because we've only seen late game fights. But you can disable the Blade Master relatively early on. But then you also need anti-magic and that all needs time, and then there might be an overwhelming number of Wyvern. There's a lot of questions. About these strats and about the timings especially. Happy is the one who needs answers now. And I think the big one is timing. Don't give Lin too much time. He was able to bank 1100 gold. This is not what you're used to. Going for natural first without any greens. Trying to dodge the blade, but Lin has the perfect read and steals the ogre. Oh my god. After destroying Happy's strategy on map 1, he destroys the creep route on map 2. Who? Why? How? Out of all the places in the world, how are you gambling on the natural expansion? He got the item as well. Unreal Lin. He did his homework. He takes the acolytes of the grid. We're in tech. There's no spare acolyte, by the way. Lin could theoretically go in again. And Happy seems shaken. He destroyed Fortitude 3-0. He had a great tournament thus far, and we thought that's the Emperor Happy again. He's the guy to beat again. But after losing to Lin and all the randoms, might be a repeat here. Can he steal another? Always priority to keep the DK away from level 2 for as long as possible. Backstab. No way! And the claw! We are not worthy to witness the presence of the god of Warcraft. Because that's what this man is. Lin is Super Saiyan God right now. Unreal. Don't tell me. He got the item as well! 3 out of 3 items. He might not have gotten the XP this time, but Happy has 0 items 5 minutes in. Oh, you need that? You're still eating that? This is almost a perfect early game. And the DK is at 50% too. Jesus Christ. Lin with a statement performance on Happy. Let me remind you that this is Happy's first losers pick. This is the map he feels the strongest on. What are we witnessing? Lumber is relatively low.
A player's forces are under attack.
I'm not 100% sure if he can go for Banshees this game. And look who's back again. Zdenko with the 10 euro super chat. W3, go, 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 go. Russian push. Lin, no fever this time. Oh yeah, he beat Happy with 40-degree fever. But for Happy, this early game might be a fever dream. Zdenko, you supported us yesterday already. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So we do get the lumber in now. No dust. There was a dust before. He bought a dust. It's not that Happy was cheap. And this is the classic orc creeping when you're not... Oh! Happy! Not looking! He could have stolen it! That would have been the revenge for the steals in the early. But he only sent the skeleton. He wasn't looking everywhere at all times. Imagine if that's the comeback of Happy. It would have been a classic Happy move. And he gets the rune braces on top. Jesus. When I woke up this morning, I expected... To be honest, I expected Happy to waltz over Lin to a degree with that new Banshee strat. But, I mean, look at this. Lin is ahead in supply. Lin is ahead in levels. Lin is far ahead in equipment. And Happy has a huge question mark on his head.
Players' forces are under attack.
And so far he didn't even change much. This is just pure execution. Gambling for the gold mine creep. I'm not the #1 expert in creep routes, but is it normal for Undead vs Orc to start with the natural expansion creep? Rather not. Happy is so passive. It feels like he's afraid. But it's Happy. You can't count out Happy in a best of 5 as long as there's no 3 on the scoreboard for his opponent. Doesn't matter what the name is. Yeah. Chat says it as well. Let Happy cook. We will. Banshee Destroyer Frenzy, is that now a more dedicated timing than what we've seen before? Lin is making adjustments. Very early TC. Satisfied with the hero levels that he acquired. Going in for more lames. Happy again. No Spirit Tower. Just Nerups. He's forced back though. Taken off the map. If the plan was to go for a push, he can forget about that. Good misses. And reminder, there might be 40 in the lower bracket final and or focus. You don't want to fall into that lower bracket. Double claw for Lin. Orb up already at the 9-minute mark. He's going into Headhunters once again. Way faster than before.
Town is under siege. A player's forces are under attack.
Happy has no solution to the Viper. His gargoyle numbers are too low to contest. Lin's Wyvern control was too good this series. This is what happens. Oh, and he set up a trap, hoping for a purge, gets it. Brilliant. Yeah, and now you can't contest. But Happy did the same with the Nova, but it's only level 1. And yeah, the presence of a Blade Master here forces Happy into Frost Armor. And the presence of bats, I guess. So no Dark Ritual to spam Nova. What a dynamic between the two. Happy's inventory and Lin's inventory, if you just look at it, like, are they playing the same game? Is this Happy's push at 50? Shifting the timing forward. But Lin had a good bank. Getting up to 50 now. End snare's coming. And then he's ready, I think. An invuln would be good. A heal scroll would always be good. Happy is fishing for level 3 on the Lich somewhere. Can't really find it. Oh, Lin's army isn't grouped up.
Attack.
It's actually Lin getting the pickups with Hex. Stomp versus Ghouls, not too bad. Mostly used against Banshees, I'd say. So, Happy, is this your moment? When the Wyvern on here, the Wyvern are far away. There's no TP on Lin. Oh, glitches out the TC. Needs to run. No speed scroll available. That TC might fall here. And Happy with the first win in a long time. But the TC lives? Can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. The coil wasn't enough. There wasn't even Ruined Bracers. Triggering an Ankh at that stage would have been very useful. Instead, you have to work overtime. All gone. You get another speed scroll. Nice. Keep them on cooldown. And upgrades kicking in. Against Acid Bomb. Love that move. If you can afford it. And Lin can afford pretty much everything now. In our comment section, people suggested expanding against the Banshee style. I was a bit hesitant to believe that's working. Because Happy will find the timing against it, with Ghouls especially. Berserkers, man. Going back to ground. Claws plus 12. Blade Master's getting out of control. And Happy, as unlucky as he can be, finds the Unholy Aura that he already has on the DK. Watch a ward for Lin. Knows exactly where Happy is, which is usually the other way around. But shades are coming only now. Happy, you have terrorized the scene for more than half a decade with your perfect micro. You need to step it up now, because you are facing the new monster that is Lin. The vacation in September was the best thing he did in the past couple of weeks and months. And like, whatever the secret was on his vacation, it put him to high levels. I'm nervous, like it's some World Cup football and my brother is playing or something. Oh, that is lovely to see, man. Lin is almost decked out. He has one slot left in his inventory. Happy's Alchemist is naked. Definitely a point of attack. Can't be coiled. Low armor.
A player's forces are under attack.
Plus that Blade Master is of course getting boosted by Kodos as well. Like, we're talking plus what? Plus 35. Plus 35. And he could still scale more. But he wants some stability with Rune Bracers, with the Circlet, more HP, the evasion. Lin is far, far, far ahead. How do you salvage this, Happy? If there's one player who can beat this Orc army, it's Happy. But for that, I feel like he needs the confidence that he didn't display, especially after this early game. TC has an Ankh. Oh yeah, now we're optimizing the blade with increased attack speed. The TC became more tanky. With evasion, with more HP. The Blade Master will hit like an army of trucks. Can he take out a hero? Rune Braces on the Blade. Ankh and evasion on the TC. The point of attack must be the Shadowhunter. Possession. Possession happened to focus yesterday. Radar and Kodo in an undead army. Very scary. Of course, you would love to have silence from a Dark Ranger and Black Arrow. But if you give up the Dark Ranger mid-game, Wyvern overwhelm you when there's no Alchemist. Tricky situation. What the? Is that angry happy? Destroying poor Murloc huts? What did this Murloc hut ever do to you? I think it's just frustration. Finally able to kill something. The Murlocs know what they did, but they ensnare Starbuck. Oh yeah, long distance mining again. Another shop where a fight could be happening. Tiny Great Hall. Add insult to injury. Happy left Lynn alone for so long that he was easily able to afford a tiny Great Hall. He just bought the Great Hall and he's at 400 gold. And now Happy has to fight, but he has no supply lead. He has a pathetic inventory. Oh, he sold the claws plus 12. True. For the Great Hall. I think that's a trade you can make. You're not reliant on the Blade Master damage. It would be fun for us for the big red numbers, but when it comes to success in a match, I think claws plus 12 can be sold for a tiny Great Hall. We can maybe get them back later. So rare to see that invul potions on Northern Isles are not out of stock. This is always contested. There we go. The inventory is not bugged. This is the inventory. Happy has 6 items. Ooh, Scroll of Protection. Okay, he was gathering a lot of mana for this very fight. Do we have fortification? No tower. But spikes against the ghoul damage. Love the spikes. And of course a shop for the Shadowhunter. Lyn is perfectly set. He doesn't have to move. He has an illusion on a Kodo in case of possession, but I think you get a notification, right? This unit can't be possessed. Anyway, we'll see about that. TC Stomp to open up the fight. Can the Gargoyles take out the Wyvern this time, or will it be the same again? Alchemist is just disappearing from the fight. 192 crits and a lot of misses. Gargoyles do take out the Wyvern this time. Stomp is massive. He moved forward. The Kodo is still with Lyn. The 20% damage boost is massive. So much attention to these illusions who turn out to be genius. But Lyn is struggling a little bit in the supply department. His headhunters are streaming in faster. Scroll of the Beast now. Uh-oh, this is again, what is it, plus 35. Shadowhunter looking fine. Lyn chasing. Gets another Banshee out. Shadowhunter saves himself and Happy leaves the game. No more chances. He lost 20 food in 5 seconds. Disgusting. Disgusting. He was waiting till there's not enough destroyers anymore and then popped the Skull of the Beast and then boom, baby. 2-0. Lyn shows the world how to play Warcraft 3 again. And this time, there was no swing in the value. This time, it was pure, utter dominance from start to finish. And when I say start, I mean the very first creep. The very first creep. And then the second creep. And the third creep. Happy's early game was completely destroyed. Without any chance. He didn't get the last hits. He didn't get 2 out of 3 heroes. Heroes items. Mango! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 5 gifted subs. You wonderful, wonderful soul. Mango has been a tier 2 sub on this channel for I don't know. Before the invention of tier 2 subs, I think. You're awesome, mate. Thank you so much. Oh, wrong button again. I'm an idiot. Happy is so passive. He was broken by the early game, I feel. Unbelievable. He allows Lin to build the army he wants. We fight at 80-80. Lin had an expo this time. And a fully decked out inventory. I think he has to go for more tempo. He cannot allow the full transition to ground. And when they fight at this stage and you're up against this Kodo Raider and especially Berserker army, Gargs are a bad unit. And he got like, how many? 6? That's 12 supply, relatively worthless. The early TC helped a ton. Happy's not in the lobby, guys. He's taking his time. Maybe watching the replay. What do we know? I know that we're here for 289 days in a row, bringing you the best Warcraft 3 on the planet. If you want to support us on our mission for that, feel free to give us a Holy shit, are you mad? We just got 50 gifted subs by Kirk. Dude! Help to the sub goal from Cape Town. Oh my god, man. That's a lot of money, my dude. That's a lot of money. Oh man, man. Incredible. Incredible. Kirk, you also, you were also here, like, within the first year of our English broadcast, I feel, back in 2015-ish. Bishonen, thank you for the 12-month sub. 1 full year. Amazing. Well, while I would love to celebrate Kirk for like 50 more minutes, we unfortunately have a game to cast. It is Lin up 2-0. He has now won the past 4 maps between these two, and Happy does not find an answer. The strats that worked against Focus, they don't work against Lin, because Lin is a different beast, and we might be done with our winner bracket final in less than an hour. Lin 2, Happy 0. We need Clutch Happy. We need Dreamhack Happy. The guy who can always turn a series around regardless of how bad it looks. Kein Plan 51. Thank you for the €2. Will there be a behind Back to Warcraft video on YouTube someday? I guess we're busy enough with the status quo, but I would love that. I would also love like some sort of documentaries, but for now, we celebrate the games as they fall. Knopf with the gifts up to Icewater. Love, 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 love to the Knopf. The orcs are in festive mood as Santa Lin is showing them how it's done. How demoralizing for Happy. You thought you cracked the code against the strategy that is plaguing you for 9 months. The Mass Wyvern. I also feel a big part of this weakness today is fast expansion. is the Wyvern Harass. The Wyvern Harass caught him off guard twice. And that's of course a result of not having a shade in favor of the Banshee. We're on Hammerfall. This is a bigger map, not the crazy ice steal everything early game from Northern Isles. Happy switches it up entirely. He's listening to the Back to Warcraft YouTube comments. Fast expand.
A player's forces are under attack.
1-0 tried this versus Soin. It wasn't that successful, but it can work. It can certainly work. That also means his tier 2 is severely delayed. And Lin's tech is still super fast. So this is why I had reservations about this expo. I think timings don't work out with expos. This is of course a 6-minute time frame. Well, Lin has nothing but the blade.
A town is under siege.
And Happy's trying to make the best out of this. In a very, very passive way.
Are under attack.
Fools not harvesting, ready for the defense. Expo 50%. Blade Masters are amazing. He got a circlet and a claw with that damage boost. It's not enough damage, huh? Lin is not changing anything, despite there being an expo. It's not the first time we see Happy Fast Expand versus ORC. We've seen this especially on big maps like Twisted Meadows. Lost Temple, first and foremost. And it can certainly work. At least there's a new task for Lin. This means... Oh, coil. Happy got it. But Lin gets the item again. Ring of Protection that the DK would have loved to have. So, Lin probably has to go with some sort of all-in Wyvern or a fast counter expansion, which will delay his ground timing as well. Another item stolen. Come on! The stealing Magpie Lin. And a ghoul. And... oh shit! He got him. He got the last hit. Unbelievable. Thank you for the dono, MW3886. Any major tournament announced for 2025 besides Rara? Well, Rara LAN in January, but so far I don't think so. Blade against the Crypt cancels that one as well. I'm sorry guys, but Happy is... he's getting hexed at the seafood menu. Shadowhunter though, a bit ambitious. Blade has no mana either, right? Can't pop him out. Oh, Lin, are you getting a little too sweet? Was this really necessary? He does hex the DK, so he won't get XP, which is a brilliant move in, you know, unoptimal situation. This takes some wind out of Lin's sails, but he was incredibly aggressive. And he got a lot of Ws. He got the Crypt, he delayed leveling. It's only a level 1 hero. And Wyvern are here. How do you deal with Wyvern? Must be Gargs.
Any major tournaments announced for 2025 besides Rara?
There we go. Little delayed because of the 50 gift subs by Kirk. Okay. Happy. This wasn't perfect. You lost a couple of items, but this is the win condition. 2 bases up. Orc levels very low. And he finally gets the Makrura. I expected a boomer pun. You know, you should know better than that. German boomer humor. Slaughterhouse killed. This time Happy is prepared though. With the Spirit Towers that were missing in 2 games in a row. It's still a scary situation because Lin is on tier 3, goes for the TC. He got 3 level 1 heroes. And we go Fiends. Here's my text about Fiends. Oh, you know, you might suggest Fiends because that is one of the anti-air solutions that Undead has and we rarely see them. Well, Fiends don't work against Wyvern and Fiends fall against Stomp. With an Expo though, that's changing a little bit. Can you get enough Fiends out? Or will that force Lin into more Wyvern? I don't think so.
A player's forces are under attack.
But so far, Happy's best game. Finds the Ring of Protection, amazing against all the physical damage. Finds a big mana potion, which is what he needs. Lin's Blade Master inventory, again, phenomenal with dodge, with armor, HP and damage. He got it all. There's no big bank yet. He could sell some items for a tiny.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Happy is abandoning Banshees. Not to be seen. He is on tier 2, by the way. Tier 2 only. No Orb of Corruption. No Destroyers. No Frenzy. A very, very, very different approach by Happy. It feels like this is almost an experimental stage. Scouting. Expo not crapped yet.
A player's forces are under attack.
Look at him go. Plus 28. And stays at 50. Wonder if he's sure about the army comp. So many Fiends. Holy, 7 Fiends. Happy is going for the throat on tier 2.
A player's forces are under attack.
I do have a later swing. If the TC gets level 3, TC destroys Fiends. Except if you have peak Happy micro and he just moves them out of the way. This time, if the game goes long, Happy can choose his third hero because there's not too many Wyvern and he will see that there's a ground transition. So this should enable a Dark Ranger, which is a counter to the TC because Lin is not going Dispel. Very different game now.
A player's forces are under attack.
Happy started the tech to tier 3, but that will take 2 to 3 minutes to take effect. Tech timing plus upgrade timing. Sweet reveal from the lab. Mana Stone. Book of the Dead could come in handy for a surround. Happy is shark. Ah, sees the peon. Happy was sharking for these expansions. Doesn't get him. Because there is no expansion. But then we go for the main. We got reinforced. No towers up. Something that Happy was scared of plenty of times. And Happy's economy advantage is growing and growing and growing. Lin was banking though. And no upkeep. Now he's breaking. But is that too early? Only has 500 gold. Trying to go for a fight now. Take some ghouls away. End Snare versus Web. Temple is coming in now. Happy doesn't want to fight. Here is what happens to Fiends if they're exposed to Wyvern. And Lin didn't lose anything, right? It was just a bit of web, damage on the Kodo. Happy loses Town Portal and Fiend. And again, if you're down 0-2 and take this fight and you can't get that much done, it's like another little slap in the face. I'm better than you today. But Happy is scaling like crazy. We get Banshees again. We got tier 3. We will get a third hero. Yeah, it is logical that Happy didn't want to fight them. Busted available. Another fight before tier 3. The feed falls despite the coil. Feels bad, man. Stomp comes in. Still no third hero. Lin, are you finding the perfect time for a fight? The Kodo at the ready. Book of the Dead been taken out swiftly. 213 critical strikes without any curse. Still a problem. That Happy's army is so big. But it's a Blade and a TC and a Shadow Hunter, and they are mighty, mighty powerful. Reinforcements for Happy. Streaming in. First Banshee at the ready. Still 216 critical strikes. The second coil misses. Unbelievable. But Lin's army is down to nothing. It's just the sheer mass that Happy has. Lich might get attacked soon. The coils were a bit late. Not calculating in the critical strikes maybe. And Happy is the one to TP out with a 20 food lead. This is so absurd. As long as the heroes are there, it is really, really tough to fight. Or 3-2. It was the health stone consumed. Happy keeps the big mana. Now we got an orb. Happy still scaling. He is broke though. Lin is back at 50. He got the expo up on the back of this fight.
A player's forces are under attack.
Happy probably afraid of Hero Nuke. Didn't want to risk it, but yeah, it's not oozing confidence. This TP in the last fight saying, oh yeah, your control today is ahead of mine. TC mega tanky. Doesn't Happy need a Dark Ranger? Two talismans. Lynette 50. Trying to play the speed scroll game. No destroyer upgrade at all, by the way. Lin has built some incredible heroes this series. And this game is no different. DK close to 5. Is Lich level 4 that important? I'm not sure. Lin keeps him in check so he cannot send anything to the tavern, guards it. There is no pillage. No, the upgrades are displayed here. Crypt Lord. Okay. Okay. Lin has lumber issues.
A player's forces are under attack.
Lin is getting so much gold out of this expo though. Is he too greedy? Distracting. Buying time. Dark Ranger it is. Cancels the Crypt Lord. Dark Ranger it is. We have Dust against the Burrow. Got 2 mana potions. Sick. But no invul, no heal scroll.
Player's forces are under attack.
66 food is all we can get? Or can we stall even more time? Can Happy edge out a win? Or will Lin advance into the grand final of the Dolphin Warcraft Championship Cup? Happy facing the lower bracket. It's TC versus Fiends. From a lot of headhunters, we move back to mostly Wyvern. We have anti-magic shell applied once again. That works against the poison. It is the calm before the storm. If this burrow is destroyed, Lin can't go to 80. But he will not allow this! Stop on lots of fiends! I mentioned the micro. He wasn't able to dodge it. Nuke on the cow. Heal wave at the ready. He's throwing the kitchen sink on the TC. But War Chief keeps the TC alive, of course. Lynch now in trouble. Happy neck and neck fight here. You can't lose the Lynch at all costs. The TC eventually falls, and that takes a lot of control out of the fight for Happy. Shadowhunter Silence can't heal right now. Happy got a huge lead with the Fiends. The coils, they hit level 5 on the DK as well. Every single Wyvern has been picked up. And now the hero nuke begins. Banshees, amazing. Curse, amazing. The Hex to the rescue. Woo! Last second deal wave. But what's it worth? The damage is done. The statues still heal. The expo is broken. Lots and lots of corpses. And Happy edging out a victory here on Hammerfall. If there's no miracle. And there isn't. GG. Happy puts his name on the board. And fast expo into mass fiends was the solution. Good timing. Good timing. The Banshees again. This time they worked. No headhunters was the change. And of course we switched from fiends, from gargoyles to fiends. And all of a sudden this army is a lot more powerful. The TC, limited impact to be honest. The beginning moments of the fight looked fine. But then one fiend after the next. There were just one wyvern after the next. Too many fiends for Lin to handle. And I think the major winner next to Happy are we. Getting more games like this. Crazy, crazy series. But we have to mention that the past maps were all Happy maps. He won one of his losers map. Okay, that's what you're supposed to win. Now, we move on to Turtle Rock. And Turtle Rock looked damn good. In the hands of orcs, especially Lin. Happy has to pull a miracle once again. There can't be a chance that he expands here. So his strategy from Hammerfall cannot work on Turtle Rock. I mean, theoretically, you could expand next to your neighboring starting position, where the red spot is. But imagine there's a Blade Master, and Lin has been playing one of the best Blade Masters I've ever seen. He stole, what, 6 items and 5 creeps so far? Happy you had an answer on Hammerfall. What now? What now? Lin is still on match points. Is still 1 map away from the grand final of one of the biggest online tournaments we got in the scene. But this is Happy threatened. That's where he's the scariest. When he's facing elimination, when the pressure is the highest, diamonds are created. And Dimitri Croston is definitely a Warcraft 3 diamond. Lin, can you brush this loss to the side? And take over Turtle Rock and advance into the grand final where the #1 ELO player belongs? We'll see right here, right now. In the lower bracket waiting are Fortitude and Focus. 2 players in the top 4 of the ELO ranking as well. And it's not a foregone conclusion that Fortitude wins there if we think back to Focus's performance at a OW Cup. Any changes? Nope, still DK. Still Blade, still no Rax, still the fast tag. And for both sides there's no reason to change that. And also very little wiggle room to change that early game. Can Lin find Happy as he did on the maps prior? Can he disrupt the early game as he did in the maps prior? And how do you stop the Wyvern here? Will the Banshees work again? What about Shaman? I thought about Shaman as well. I feel like the answer is that they're too easy to nuke and kill. But I don't know. We've never seen it. We've seen walkers. They weren't great. They also fed the destroyers. So I don't think walkers are the answer.
A player's forces are under attack.
But maybe... I mean, nothing's impossible anymore in Warcraft apparently now that we have Banshees versus Orc. And we've seen an anti-magic shell destroyer yesterday in the fight versus focus. Lin is choosing a path way less disruptive than before, going for the shop. This is one of the biggest items here. A great boost. Is he bound to the Talisman of Evasion this series? Every single game. Last game even too. Happy. Evasion creeping. But Lin's eyes are everywhere. That was an important one. That turtle lasted would have prevented level 2. Now movement speed advantage, Happy. The Blade Master undetected. Okay, I feel like it's already one of Happy's best early games, we gotta say. Blade Master gets a couple of units, and it is very important to take ghouls out. We talked about this yesterday. When your opponent is going for that Banshee tech, he needs a lot of lumber. So Lin, 1 steal, that's about it. And my camera is locked on the Blade Master, and I have no idea how to fix... Oh, there we go. Can I...
Town is under siege.
Would be nice if I could, you know, force this, but I don't know how.
A player's forces are
Tekken.
under attack.
Early graveyard. You see it halfway through the tech, the graveyard is finished already. So increased lumber. It's all about the lumber. Nice scout. But the DK is far away. At least he gives the position away. So Happy doesn't have to worry about a Blade Master on his heels. And knowing Happy, he's doing some extra damage on the blade. I like that. Any chance for a last hit? That would be a statement last hit. But no, not with Lin. Gets the Acolyte as well. Triple circlet, not bad. Pretty good, actually.
A player's forces are under attack.
But the DK is ready to level. He's pretty tanky as well, which will weaken the Blade Master, obviously. Tier 3 on the way. So always the question on Turtle Rock, where do you creep? Oh, Skeleton Scout might give it away. Is Happy in any position to punish this? I don't think so. He's too hurt, low mana. And Lin being able to creep what he wants is a bit scary. The way Orc manipulates the creeps these days is unparalleled. And Happy can only take a little orange spot. At least he has value. So here we go. Usually you need 3 grunts for that. The Berserker is an interesting hex target to me.
A player's forces are under attack.
Well, works out. Takes the Sorby mask away from Happy. You can creep this with 2 heroes. Easy. We have heal selves? Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's beautiful. Doesn't even matter too much. that's a creep check though. And it's close. It's really close, but Lin has the perfect timing. Not even the healing is getting cancelled. Yep. Perfect to the second. Happy arrival, Lin leaving, big red spot taken away, while Happy was only taken an orange. But it is time for the Banshees to come up. Anti-magic, almost there. And Happy says, okay, you take a red spot, I take a red spot. And this is the more meaningful red spot, I might add. Katka's Pipe! For a Banshee strategy. Hallelujah, the value. Creeping intensifies with Lin running across the entire map, uniting with his Wyvern and getting a Devotion off. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, interesting though. Frenzy, Banshees. We're getting there. Can we get a level 3 Shadowhunter and some consumables before Happy's push hits? No Headhunters so far. Attack on the Lich. Forcing a coil. That was one... That was the last, actually. No curse just yet. Nothing applied. Hex on the Banshee. That's the first one. That's the only one. No curse in this fight. Lin with the brilliant timing. Aiming for the Lich. Body block Happy. Doesn't matter when Windwalk. Kill for Lin. And now the door to the grand final is wide open. Progress on the Lich started again in gold cost. It's not the biggest thing. It's 30 seconds on the clock. But it's progress, and Happy must assume a defensive position now. He can't touch the Wyvern, really. He's pushed away from the tavern. The Banshee's getting sniped again. This is a Banshee strategy. It needs Banshees. And the coil doesn't work. This is seriously the unluckiest Happy has been in a while. And Lin pushing the turtle to the right-hand side, where the Blade Master was coming. Grand Warcraft. The movement, the timings, out of this world. Engaging into this fight almost feels like Happy has somewhat given up. He's trying though, with a level 1 Nova without an Alchemist. Wyvern, saved, of course. No Orb of Lightning yet, so maybe that is why Happy wants. But he's forgetting about the ghouls. He's forgetting about the Lich. Now, finally a Banshee is here. But no curse on the Blade. It's only on the Wyvern. Blade can roam freely. And again, the snipes on the Banshee. Unreal. This man is not normal. And we transition into Kodos. The heroes alone, like, the heroes alone are so dreadful. Takes out the Gargs. The Lich again forcing a coil. Was that the last one? 20 seconds. Of course, the Brilliance Aura is helping a little bit. Taking out Ghouls, man. He's getting so many kills. Wyvern numbers are relatively low now. And an Alchemist is out. So there's a little bit of reason to hope for Happy fans. But does he do himself a favor engaging into these fights? Now that curse is out, Lin retreats. But this fight here, that was not his fight to take. So we mask Shadowhunter back to mana in a second. Orb of Lightning is finally there. And Raiders are coming. And Happy is still going Gargs. I don't think it's necessary at all. At this stage, do you need Gargs? Very questionable. Ooh, Lin, it feels like he's getting further and further ahead. As more pieces of his strategy are coming together. Level 4 Blade. TC closing in on 2. So what now, Happy? No possession. Thank you, half wasted for this.
Thanks for the juicy Warcraft content.
Thank you for the sub, mate. Next fight coming in. Miss into crit. Everything is red here. The Banshee taken out again. Shadowhunter! Point of attack. Happy, that's maybe the way out. Acid Bomb. Can he take him down? From downtown. But the heal wave at the ready. Shadowhunter out of the fight. TC Blade Master have to do it alone. Chance for Happy to clean up a little bit here. Lin trying to reunite his army. Ring around the Rosie. Works out fine for both of the players. But a little bit of momentum for DK. TC still no stop. Going for the stat heals, takes the regen away. Big crits again. Lin bloodthirsty now. Has no mana anymore. But an invuln. 7-second beast mode aiming for the DK. He has an invuln as well. And is this Lin losing the brawl with curse? We'll see about that. Oh, no curse no more. With Coil Nova available and Hex Crit available, Hero Focus is always a solution, but both retreat. Lin has 1,000 gold and a 10 food lead. 30 seconds till the next invuln. Lin licking his wounds, applying self, clarities, everything you want. A very defensive barracks to not display it immediately. So the Berserker transition that edged out the win on map 1 and map 2, it's coming together. Slower than before, as it's not double racks, but it's coming together. 4 Lich level 3 would be a major upset. Upset? No. Upgrade. That's the word. Spamming for the invuln. Lin got it.
A player's forces are under attack.
Blade Master hunting Banshees. Commits the invul for the Banshee. Banshees are relatively cheap. And this was a little bit of a waste, I'd say. But at least Happy didn't get it. In the meantime, though. Bottom left-hand side. Expo up. TC 2. Close to 3. Solo creeping. And in the fight before, we did not have Stomp. Now we almost got Stomp level 2.
A player's forces are under attack.
Second crypt. Is he trying a Fiend? No, he can't go for a Fiend transition without an Expo here, can he? Lich Claw plus 12. One more kill for level 2. Using Curse on creeps. Interesting. But this is undetected. Again, the downside of this strategy. Happy doesn't have lumber for the sacrificial pit. He doesn't have shades. He doesn't have the vision he usually has. He can curse creeps if he has Katka's pipe. It's not a problem. Good point. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Played again. He would have been a fantastic first-person shooter gamer. 1 second on the clock. He's at the merchant. Next invul. Boom. Happy has no fighting consumables at all. Happy has to fight. Maybe Lin forces him into that fight. Berserker's in the back. Oh yeah, Happy didn't want this position at all. The Berserker's perfectly lined up. The turtle is gone and Happy can go to this turtle. So he's just aiming for high level heroes with Alchemist level 3 around the corner. Very, very tanky again. I would love to see one of the rings on an Alchemist, I think. But on level... yeah, I think so. Double invul now on Lin. He got the left-hand side invul as well. And it's so much about the heroes in this game. It's fascinating that yesterday we were here like, oh, Curse is so strong, Curse is so strong. You gotta find a solution to Curse. And Focus tried with walkers. And Lynn says, yeah, okay, you can curse me. I don't care. It's still enough damage. Minus 33%. Blade's still alright. I'm just adding damage with Berserkers because I built so many Berserkers that you can't curse them all. And if you do, you gotta come forward and then I nuke you. Smart, smart, War Chief. Happy has no advantage, right? Nothing. This could be the end of his winner bracket run. What's the way out here? TC with a good opener. Again, we have the Wyvern kiting. He is perfecting that. Gargs out of the air. Massive stomp on the DK. Ghouls trying to ravage the Berserker, and it works to a degree, but there's very, very little in the air that require the presence of Berserkers. He's still able to snipe the Banshees. He took out most of the Destroyer. There's even Bat Riders now who can't really be dealt with. Boom, bye-bye Destro, bye-bye Dispel. Wyvern still on the left-hand side. Wyvern everywhere. Happy has no solution to whatever Lynn is throwing at him. Maybe the Shadow Hunter kill. That's it. No more healing here. 4.5. Lynn is rich though. Might be able to get it back from the tavern. Lich levels up. Cow, wait. Hero focus. When in doubt, Coil Nova. But Orcs can do the same. Now a Kingdom for a Hex. TC has an invul. Should be safe as well. The Blade Master is going crazy. Lynn Sane Sword. TC in. Lich and snared. Bye-bye. No miss when he needs it here. And arguably, Lich even more important than the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter back in 90 seconds. Lich, he could have fought him from the tavern. Maybe. But Happy, all he can do is run 3 times the food. For Happy, we're going for more hero focus. 224 crit on level 3. This is unbeatable. On the back of an Expo.
A player's forces are
With a
under attack.
40 food lead. Happy? You will be facing Fortitude or Focus tomorrow. Good effing luck. What can you do with 30 food? That requires a comeback of a lifetime. Do we know if Happy saw the expansion? If there's no second income, there's all reasons to stay in this game. I am not sure. Why buyback? There's nothing happening. So the Lich can regen more mana. And HP. Oh, he wouldn't have needed that, but yeah. To stay more active. Anti-magic applied. Statue sniped. Very little gold left for Happy. And yeah, why not trade an invul potion for a statue? It's fine. Plenty of gold. And another base. Okay. This is getting rough. Happy knows about the expo. He's throwing everything on that Great Hall, but sometimes everything is not enough. Heal away from the blade. Only keep the blade safe and you're fine. The walls are closing in on the Emperor. Shadow Hunter again a target. This time we have an invul potion. Hex comes in timely, so there is no coil. Heal wave, of course, so the heroes are back to green after being nuked at the beginning of the game, and that is hopeless. Lynn, 3-1, breaks the new Banshee strategy with a pivot to Berserkers, and one of the greatest Orc performances that we've seen this tournament for sure, especially map 1 and map 2. These early games took every wind out of Happy's sails. Every single one. The steals early with the blade, unparalleled. People say Soen has the best Blade Master micro. Lin says, hold my sword. Hold my sword. 3-1. And the maps that Lin won were dominant. Lin shows again that he's currently the best player in the world.